make that 7 wins in a row for your Miami Heat. I wonder what Eric Spoelstra has to say to all the Heat fans that were freaking out when they were 1-4.
I mean, this is just competition.
Well said, Spoelstra. I mean, what a fun game that just was that we saw versus the Brooklyn Nets. Truly one of the most exciting regular season games that we saw in a long time. I mean, there was so many like real highlight plays out there. I got a whole list. I started downloading the videos and realized there was just a ton of them. At first, you had Caleb Martin coming into the game. Really, his first game of the year. We all know he was hurt. Like, I think he played the first game of the year for a couple minutes. We don't count that. Comes into the game, immediately hits a corner three. Hit a couple today, actually. But that first one, as soon as he hit it, I said, I bet money his toes on the line. It wasn't. I'm sorry, Dodgy Caleb. But you had Caleb Martin hitting a monster three there. You had Jimmy Butler hitting a three himself and then holding up the 50 or 50, whichever way it is, telling the whole bench that he's shooting 50% from three this season, which is interesting, by the way. Like, I noticed there's a lot of really high percentages from three this season. Eric Reed said that even Lonnie Walker was 46% from three this year on 5 attempts. I even saw Derrick Jones Jr. was 37% from three on 4 attempts. And if y'all are Heat fans, which why else would you be watching this video if you're not a Heat fan? I don't know. Maybe you're a Nets fan or just want to recap of the NBA. Either way, welcome. Subscribe to the channel. We like 9 away from 3K. So hopefully we're at 3K by the time you're watching this. Anyways, self-promo aside, you know that Derrick Jones being at 37% is very high for him. And even Wooga Poplar is at 70% from three on 7 attempts per game. If y'all don't know Wooga Poplar, he's the new stud from University of Miami. He played well in the tournament last year, but he's up and coming. And shout out University of Miami. They're off to 3-0 to start the season as well. But then aside from Jimmy Butler's 3 early in the game, you had some Jimmy Butler takeover late. You had the Jimmy shimmy dunk on his head, followed by and one the very next play. Had the crowd rocking as he was cooking Royce O'Neal. You had Duncan Robinson shoot a 3 off a jump ball with the utmost confidence that I ever seen. Came then in transition, popped up, left the follow through out there. You know when Duncan Robinson is leaving the follow through up, it's over for the other team, whoever they're playing. You had Bam Adebayo with some nasty dunks in the fourth quarter. Him just backing down Nick Claxton, using his strength, put a 2-hand jam on his head. And then you had the amazing play off a steal. Bam to J. Rich. Back to Bam. Dunking off the lob. The rare double lob we haven't seen since the likes of LeBron and D. Wade back in the Heat jersey. That was really, really fun to see. And, of course, they got the squad or whatever J. Rich and Bam call themselves. If y'all don't remember, it was like a thing back when Winslow was here. I think they called themselves like the squad, something like that. I never really understood the reference fully, but that was an awesome game. In the Heat, basically, the Nets played well. They shot the ball very well, I believe. Let me see what they finished with on the night here, because it seemed like they were killing it from three. They shot, 43% on 35 attempts. They shot well. But this game was one for the Miami Heat by really outscoring the Nets the last 2 minutes of the first 3 quarters. And that's something I've said a lot. You could play terrible, but if you close each quarter strong, that's kind of where, your money is made as an NBA team. And I think the Heat closed the first quarter on like a 10-2 run. They closed the second quarter on a 14-0 run. And then in the third quarter, they were up double digits going into the fourth quarter. And I mean, the game got a little close towards the end. Maybe the Nets cut it to as close as 7 or 8. But what I really liked is the Heat were getting good shots. They weren't settling for terrible transition isolation threes like we saw earlier in the season. They were getting to the basket. We saw Duncan Robinson pass up an open 3, get a layup at the rim. We saw Jimmy seal the deal with the layup at the rim. I really, really love their late game execution. But I kind of want to go through the box score again here. We'll go through every player and kind of share my thoughts on how I thought they performed today. You had Jimmy Butler with 36. When he cares about basketball, nobody can guard him. Breaking news, I know, but it was nice to see him be aggressive. 12 and 19, so the efficiency just incredible. The 11 free throw attempts, that's something we always track because it's a great way to tell Jimmy's aggressiveness. And of course, 2 of 5 from 3. So at 40%, his percentage did drop down a little bit. My guy Highsmith tonight. I am a publicly stated, known Highsmith believer now. I have converted to Highsmithianism after being a hater for the last couple of seasons. I see the vision now. Only 6 points tonight, didn't record a steal or a block, but the defensive impact is there. And even one of the layups he had was a nice little Euro step going to the basket. That's not something he could do last year. So I love seeing the improvement from him. Bam Adebayo, just a quiet 27, 4, 2, and 1. that's what's awesome about Bam is he's been so great. This is what we expect from him now. I mean, he's been a walk-in 22-11 for the past 2 weeks now. So 20-7 is not obviously as good as what we've been seeing, but he really played in the flow of the game. Shot over 50% today, and he just looked aggressive. That's what you're looking for with Bam, right? You're not looking for points. You're looking for the aggressiveness, the impact on the defensive end. Even that dunk on Claxton that we talked about earlier, that's not necessarily something we would have saw consistently last year. Bigger, taller guys like Claxton would have bothered him. But the fact that Bam used his strength, post up that, a guy who's much lighter than him, just put his back into him. Is that a pause? I don't know. But he put his back into him and then go up strong over him. That's the aggressiveness that you love from Bam about. Let's talk about Duncan Robinson, who has solidified himself as the starting shooting guard on this team. We're not going to get into the Tyler Hero debate. I know it made its way to NBA TV. It's been all over Twitter whether the Heat are better than Tyler Hero. We've talked about it the last several videos. I think I want to get a full video out on it. Maybe sometime this weekend, maybe later. I'll see how I feel. I don't want to be called a hater, so maybe we'll hold it off for a little bit. I want to really get some more sample size, some more data. So it's not just, so we have some actual facts to back up that conversation. But anyways, I don't see how you can take Duncan Robinson out of the starting lineup. I mean, another 26 points tonight. He was averaging 18 points a game since Tyler Hero went down. Obviously, that went way up tonight. 8 of 14, 6 of 10 from 3. But the thing that you love for him, just like we said for Bam, is his confidence. When he's out there holding the follow-through, that means that he is feeling himself. Even in the fourth quarter, had a crazy drive baseline up and under reverse, started shaking his head, saying that I'm him, Duncan Robinson him, Duncan Robin him, Rob Himson, however you want to say it. He's him. And the confidence is something you like to see from him. And he's another guy, just like Highsmith. I'm going to have to give an official apology video to out at the end of the season because he was awesome. Kyle Lowry literally had 3 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals. Shout out to him. I actually saw today that out of guys who play 29 minutes in the league, there's like 90-something of them who average 29 minutes. His usage rate is second lowest to Mitchell Robinson, who's a lob threat. And when you got Kyle Lowry as the starting point guard, you don't expect his usage rate to be that low, but it is. But it hasn't really been hurting the team. So, hey, let some of the other guys get run, and Kyle Lowry's not doing anything to mess it up. 0 turnovers today, so that's good for Kyle Lowry. He's running the offense. Jaime Jaquez, 10 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. I tell you, every game he can do everything. Hit another couple threes today in the corner that looked absolutely beautiful coming off of his hands. I love him. I love Jaime Jaquez so much, and I'll continue to say this because I don't think I could say it enough. It's hard not to be extremely excited as a Heat fan. We're talking about Jaquez. Kevin Love, Richardson, they all played their minutes as well. Played very solid. They've been playing okay as of late. Obviously, K-Love's shooting hasn't been great, but you like the other stuff he does. Draw like 6 charges today. They only called 2. And then it was nice to see Caleb Martin come back, hit a couple threes. And I'm sure he'll continue to get worked in the rotation as he gets the rust off him. No Thomas Bryant today. We've been seeing his role kind of get diminished game after game. And Spo didn't use him today or Drew Smith. So we're not going to say nothing negative because it was a fun game. On the net side, really just shout out Lonnie Walker. I love seeing my University of Miami brethren go off. Now, I didn't go to school there. I went to FGCU, wings up or whatever they say. But I am a UM guy. And between him, Bruce Brown just getting a giant contract. I saw a list on Hoops Hype on Twitter of the best EuroLeague players right now, and Shane Larkin was like 7th, if y'all remember Shane Larkin from University of Miami. So I love to see them doing great things. Obviously, on this last year's team, Isaiah Wong and Jordan Miller got picked up by like Indiana, or at least Isaiah Wong did. I forget where Miller's at. He may be there too somewhere, but I'm not sure they're playing much, but hopefully they can continue to work the way into NBA rotations. And in the years to come, I mean, you got, like we just said, Wooga Poplar. Maybe Norchad O'Meara gets a chance in the league. So things are looking bright for UM Hoops too. So shout out to them. Anyone else on the net side worth talking about? Bridges played well. And I mean, some other guys played well. Future Miami Heat power forward Dorian Finney-Smith shot 3 of 4 from 3. So he continues his hot shooting. Talk about another guy that's been on fire. But that's all I got to say about this game. I mean, it's a ton of fun the way this team's playing right now. And keep stacking up the wins because the regular season is full of highs and lows. I want to acknowledge that while it's high, so I don't sound like I'm being just some sunshine pumper when it's low, because times will get low. But that's why it's nice while you're able to stack up these wins now, so you don't fall 3 games under 500 and you're fighting to get out of the 7th A seed come, March, April. So keep stacking up the wins. They have the Chicago Bulls on Saturday in Chicago, and then play another game versus the Bulls in Chicago on like 2 days after that in Monday. Obviously, Chicago's struggling. There's a lot of rumors there with Zach LaVine and Caruso and DeMar and whoever else. We got a Zach LaVine video that dropped a few days ago coming about, him potentially coming to the Heat. So if y'all are interested in that, go check it out. But Chicago's struggling. I'd love to see Miami get a couple more wins against them, and we'll go from there. But let me know y'all thoughts down below. Let me know if you're happy to see Jimmy Butler care about basketball. If you don't mind if he takes maybe a more of a lackadaisical approach. And just let me know how we feeling, Heat Nation, because I'm feeling great. I can tell you that. But I'll see y'all next time. So make sure to like and comment as well. Don't forget to do that. That's actually very important because it helps me a lot. Like I said, I was like 8 subs from 3K last I checked. So help me get past that. Help me blow that into the water. Help me get to 5K by, I was gonna say the end of the year. If y'all can do that for me, that'd be crazy. I'm gonna end the video. Peace out.
Look, pull up in your city, tryna get that dead face. Do it on my own, I don't need no dead weight. Had to kill him off, yeah, I need a head space. You know this homegrown bitch don't offend me.